So maybe you spent your entire relationship begging for them to stop drinking. And then once they left you, they finally joined a 12-step program. Or maybe they told you that they never wanted children. And then you log onto Facebook and you see that their new partner is expecting. And all you can think is, why couldn't they have done that for me? Why couldn't they have changed for me? And it's so hard, isn't it, when we're in a relationship with somebody and we see that potential in them. And we beg and we ask and we plead and we do everything that we can to try to get them to maximize that potential, to make those changes. And then they only make those changes once the relationship is over. And we take it so personally, don't we? Why didn't they do this for us? Well, there's a little bit more to it. So before I get into the nature of change, I just want you to challenge the stories that you're telling yourself around whatever this perception is that you have of this change that they have undergone. Because so often what we think we see isn't necessarily the reality. Facebook posts are not everything. The snippets that you hear from friends or family don't tell you the whole story. So before you go assuming that they have now become this perfect person, I want you to think about it. I want you to think about what you really know and what you're just adding to that. And some of that is just perspective at play. It's the way that our brains work. When something is over or when something is at a distance, we have a different perspective of it. We tend to not see those harsh edges. It's a little softer, a little more blurred, a little more idealized. So be aware that that may be at least part of what's going on. But here's the major thing. They didn't change for you because they couldn't change for you. In fact, nobody ever changes for somebody else. They didn't change for their new partner either. Any change that we make for somebody else is not authentic change. It's not real. Think about those times when you maybe put on sort of a different persona in order to fit in or in order to be accepted. Was that really you? Did you really change, or were you just pretending in order to get along in that moment? That's not real change. Real change only can come from within. And real change cannot come before that person is ready. And when we try to force that change in somebody else, well, it often backfires because it's doing a few things. One, it can trigger that inner teenager that I think we all have, where you want me to do this? I'm going to do anything but that. And they dig in their heels. But even more so when we're asking somebody to change for us, what we're doing is we're telling them that they're not enough as they are. And nobody likes to feel that way. And the truth of it is, putting that burden of change on somebody, it's not fair to either one of you. It's not fair to them because you're asking them to do something that they can only do if and when they want it. And it's also not fair to you because you're sitting there in this sort of limbo where you're not okay with the way that things are and you're trying to force an outcome. Now, this is a topic that I've spent a lot of time thinking about, and I actually wrote a short little story about it. So I want to share that with you today. Why can't you fly? The caterpillar's partner screams at them. The caterpillar is confused. After all, their partner knew they couldn't fly from the very beginning of the relationship. Did you see Kelly's wings? They're so strong and beautiful. I wish you had wings like that, the partner mentions to the caterpillar. The caterpillar curls into itself, feeling ashamed for what it lacks. I bought this for you, the caterpillar's partner says in a hopeful voice, presenting a self-help book on metamorphosis. I'll be sure to read this, the caterpillar responds, while inwardly grumbling that they have no interest or need in the book. I just don't get it, the caterpillar's partner whines to the couple's therapist. Everything would be just fine with us if they would only get wings. The caterpillar begins to grow resentful and feel unappreciated. I know you want me to fly, the caterpillar says softly to their partner. I'm trying. I really am. The partner responds, if you loved me, you would fly. The caterpillar begins to wonder if they do love their partner. Maybe that's the problem. In the dark hours of the night, the caterpillar is thinking, I'm not good enough for them. They don't love me as I am. Down the hall, the partner writes in their journal, I'm not good enough. They won't change for me. One day, the caterpillar makes a difficult decision. I'm leaving, they tell their partner. I'm not what you want me to be, and I believe that you are happier without me. At some point later, the partner comes across a picture of their ex with their big, beautiful wings. Why couldn't they change for me? They lament. I must not be lovable. All because the caterpillar wasn't able to change until they were ready.